Hello.
Hello.
Let's see. We're live. Is everybody? Let's make sure we can do this. Didn't go surfing. I was feeling a little worn out. Having a weird energy drink. Okay. Live streaming. Event. Hello? Oh, hello. There's Red Economics. Whoops. Where am I at here? Okay. Hey, there you are. Can you hear me? Is the sound and the thing and everything else good? Picture and sound okay? Hey, Stevie's here. Sound is good. Sexist Burn Bro is here. Probably just being violent. Just got done being violent against good, decent Hillary supporters. Wait a minute. All right. Sound is good. CJ and PA. 10-4 from Lee Cox. There it is. So, there's my my war on Christmas tree. We got to stay ever vigilant against the liberals who are trying to take away our baby Jesus in Christmas. We got to fight them all. So that's how I'm fighting it, with a 18-inch tree that plugs in. Happy belated winter solstice. Yes, you progressives. I'm gonna start mispronouncing that word. Yeah, I did not go surfing with Putin today. It's a little colder here in Southern California, of course. But I just felt a little, I don't know, I got in late last night. I was up in Bakersfield seeing some family and got home late. And I didn't get a good night of sleep, so I don't feel it. Happy Festivus. There's Batman shining a light of truth on everybody. Brett James is here. Agent Dale Chomsky is here. Rosenfeld 10 is here. Phil Britton is here. RT had a hilarious ad for Christmas. It's on YouTube. CJ and PA. I will check that out. I have not seen it. Homer Calg, happy whatever you like from Canada. Marcia Smith, I'm here. Yay, Frohi Weihnachten. Is that, Marcia, is that German for? I don't know. It's funny when I say, like I said, I said happy holidays to some woman who was a little older, and she just looks at me and goes, Merry Christmas. Like those people that, hey, like, like it's so funny to me. I've always said happy holidays because then I got them all covered. Whatever, Hanukkah, New Year's, I mean, whatever, Christmas, whatever it is, winter solstice, whatever. So Marcia Smith, that was German for Merry Christmas. Shirley Vick, you finally got an alert about this. Good. Yeah, guys, if you, on my page where you see the subscribe right next to that is a bell. So first of all, make sure you're subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribed a bunch of people, and then hit the bell and you'll get notifications. Shirley Vick is good. Am I going to make it through this video without resigning? What do I have to resign from? Oh no. I'm stepping down from the Graham Elwood YouTube channel. A lot of pressure from within, meaning me. I've pressured myself to quit my own job, that thing that I started. Agent Dale Chomsky. Anyone else find it super creepy that NORAD tracks Santa Claus every year? Yeah, it's super creepy. Super creepy. Taj Marie, hello. Karen Sheets, happy Merry Christmas of epic portions, and let us watch Graham. The war on Christmas. Become a soldier in the war on Christmas. All right. So here we go. Rosenfeld tense. And Trump tries to take credit for the union influence 100,000 one-time bonuses to 200,000 employees at AT&T. How sad. Yeah, that's a great point. Well, that's what he does. I mean, look, we shouldn't be shocked at this. Remember when he first took office and he made that big stink of, I'm saving these jobs. You know, Carrier was going to ship all these jobs to Mexico, and I'm saving them. And what he did was just give the heads of Carrier a tax break to stay. They had like several $billion in profit, if I wasn't mistaken. And then a union guy was like, this is not a good deal for us. And then Trump publicly chastised this union leader. So he'll take credit for everything, man. He'll take credit for everything. So it's just like he's such a jackwagon. It's not even funny. Zox Ovox, happy Oligarchy Day. God bless the oligarchy. Neographic physomania, flesh-eating disease of the face. What a wonderful physiognomia. Robert James, will Justice Dems survive? Man, that's a great question, Robert James. I was just talking to my friend, John Updike, that runs openprimaries.org. I was talking to him today. If you ever listen to I lost the video for it, but I have the audio of my first live show podcast from the Los Angeles Podcast Festival. He was one of my guests, and we were talking a lot about this today. And I just thought, so he made a good point about the Democratic Party. So the Unity Conference, and I did a video on this, they just made a deal and to just not pursue opening the primaries. So what the Democratic Party could have done is they could have just said, we're going to open the primaries. And the corporate Dems within it said, no, they just said that's not going to happen. And so the progressives within there, the Bernie supporters and stuff like Nina Turner, obviously, and Nomiki Konst, they just sort of made this deal, and he was really bothered by it. And he said, this is my problem with sort of sometimes people on the left or even progressives, is they just make a deal because they want to win. And we were talking about what happened in Virginia and Alabama, and the corporate Democrats are making, and just people on the left in general are making a mistake. They just want the win. And no real change is going to happen. This is what I've been talking about. And so will the Justice Democrats survive? I don't know. Because if the goal is just to win, we just won back some Republican seats, and we got Democrats in there, so now we're good and nothing really changes. Because look what they did. They just trimmed back some of the superdelegates. They need to get rid of these superdelegates. They need to open the primaries, and they're not doing that. And then when progressives that have a real power and a real voice don't push back hard enough, guess what happens? And so it's just like, I don't know. If it's just to win back seats without making any real change, and the Democrats aren't talking about any real change. He made a good point. He's like, Graham, $15 an hour is a good thing, but if all Democrats are fighting for is just to get, minimum wage fast food employees a better thing, that's not enough. And I brought up the fact that 63% of the population does not have $1,000 in savings. And prior to getting this TV show for FNX, I was one of them. So I don't know, man. I just my fear with, and I've been talking about this for a while. This is what 2018. So they won in Virginia and they won in Alabama, but they beat a pedophile by 1.5%. They barely beat a pedophile. A corporate Democrat barely beat a pedophile. And it's because the Republicans are so crazy and out there, but the Democrats aren't offering any real fundamental change. They got to come in and say, we need to fundamentally change everything. And they're not doing it. So, I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in them. And the wrong takeaways are coming out of these victories. And it's just that crap that we've talked about time and time again, like the 8 years of Bush. It was just anyone but Bush. Just get anyone else in there. And it's like, who? A corporate Democrat beat a pedophile. All right. I mean, and then we'll get Kamala Harris or Elizabeth Warren or somebody like that to be the president in 2020. And they'll undo some Trump stuff, but it won't be anything major. They'll get back the national monuments and the parks, and they'll fight hard. They'll get that abortion political football back, and they'll do a couple little minor things, and they'll stop the Muslim ban. But there'll still be pipelines. They'll still be bailing out the banks. We'll still be at war in 7 or 8 countries. All that'll keep happening if we get a corporate Democrat in there in 2020. I don't see it changing. Yeah, and one of you just brought up a good point of independent outsider. When Kyle Kalinske told potential candidates they would train people on how to run and what to say, I knew Justice Dems were doomed. I don't know. I just don't. Karen Sheets brings up a good point here. We need to go after the central committee seats in each state and start from the bottom. I agree. That's a good point. But I don't know. The casual polemic posts a great question, honest question. Do you ever feel like fighting for all this isn't worth it? Do you ever feel like people deserve the world they've built for themselves and you should just try taking care of yourself? Casual polemic, which I think you're pretty new to this. I don't think I've seen you on this before. Welcome. That's a great question. And I was just having this conversation with my friend John Updike, who I'm going to interview him on this show. We're going to set up a Skype interview. And because he faces the same sort of frustrations. He and I were both talking. He said, Graham, you and I are both sort of guys that just kind of like, let's do this and let's charge up that hill. And we think we got a bunch of people with us. And then halfway up the hill, you look next to you and behind you and no one's there. And people are halfway down, like huffing and puffing. I don't want to do this. And so I do have moments where I feel like, ugh, what am I doing? What's the point? I just don't want to become a bitter cynic. I don't want to sit there and go, the human race is stupid. The human race just keeps screwing it. Everybody deserves this. This is what you get. So I guess I'm just sort of trying to find a healthy balance of doing the best that I can, knowing that I alone can't change everything, and then looking for positive things. And casual polemic, one of the things I find that keeps me going is honestly doing this show and the Super Chat specifically, because many of you are getting involved or have been involved in your local governments. And that makes me go, okay, there's people out there trying to do stuff. I watch Abby Martin now. I've been singing her praises for the last couple of weeks because I just got tuned into her. Man, she's out there trying to affect real change. There's people out there trying to affect real change. Jill Stein did that live Facebook thing. I didn't see it. I haven't watched it, but I read some of the excerpts from it, and she was just debunking all of this, like, oh, she's a Putin operative. There's people out there trying to affect change. There are people who are waking up. You guys have woken up or are waking up now, depending on where you're at. But like, that's the thing that keeps me going as I see this show. And look, January 2nd, a year ago of 2017, I posted my first video and I had 164 subscribers. The year's almost out. We're at about week 51 here. And I have almost 6,900 subscribers, and the Patreon's doing well, and the YouTube numbers are way up. Like my videos used to get 50 and 100 views, and then I was like, wow, 200. Now they're consistently getting 500 to 1,000 views, and many of the videos are popping over 1,000. And I'm getting so many of you emailing me and posting and saying, hey, thanks, or I appreciate what you're doing, and you're waking things up. So I don't want to become cynical and just say, boop, this is what you get. Because I think there are enough people out there that give a damn and are trying to make a change, and change isn't going to happen overnight. And it's going to be messy. And when you put yourself out on the line, you're exposing yourself, and you're taking a gamble. So I think for me, I'm going to, find a balance of taking care of myself and doing the right thing. That's what I'm going to do. So I hope that answered your question. Michael Stiegel Jr. Hello, everybody. Where are we at here? JK, I'm halfway to fuck humanity already. Yeah, we'll come back just a touch. Billy Joe Kane, Austin, Texas represent. Keep it weird, Billy Joe. George Ho. What did George Ho have to say? George, good to see you back here. I haven't seen you in a while. Personally, I'm not a Justice Dem, even though I find their way forward legitimate. There are more than one way to skin a cat. George, that's a great point. And I think one of the things, again, this conversation, God, I wish I would have recorded this conversation I had with John Updike. He's a big proponent of that sort of ideology as well, George, which is we don't have to pick, it has to be the Justice Democrats, or it has to be One Revolution, or it has to be the Green Party. How about let's all sort of kind of work together in a consensus of like, how can we actually make a change? And if they do that, if Justice Dems can change from within, great. If the Green Party gets more legitimate and the Democratic Party changes from within, that's good. What we need is a healthy democracy. We don't have one now. We have a plutocracy and a kleptocracy and all those other crococracies. I agree with you, George. Thanks for doing that. Oh, where do we got here? Casual Polemic, thanks for answering my question. Thank you for supporting the show, man. I really appreciate it. That's for those of you who are new. You hit the little $ icon and you can get a super chat. You support the show by giving some money. Your question or comment goes all the way to the top and I will absolutely answer it. So Casual Polemic, thank you. That's one way to do it. Ask a question. If I answer it, then you throw some cash in. Where are we at here? Independent outsider, for me, waking us has been painful, but I'm going to find a way through my friends and love of life. Lynn, my wife. Oh, listen to that. Dave, that's adorable. Good for you, man. Yeah, I think that's the thing. We got to kind of, it's not going to change overnight. And when I think we need to find we need to get out of the needing to just win and think more broader in terms of we need to see categorical change. We need to see complete overhaul. So look for the little changes. Look for people doing things differently because the old way is broken. FDR, when he took over, and he said one of the things, he goes, we're going to try all these different programs. The ones that don't work, we're going to scrap them and try something else. There's nothing wrong with that approach. And that approach is what I'm talking about. It's about trying to just find what works versus we got to win. FDR didn't just go, oh, I won the presidency and I'm going to pass a couple little things here. And if he would have done that, we wouldn't be talking about him 80 years later. Oh, independent outsider, by the way, somebody, since you gave your $25 Skype to Stevie, somebody wants to give theirs to you since they don't really use theirs. I think it was Chris Ross. I can't remember. Zox Ovox. Yep. Waking up to what your government society has become sucks. It is. You can't, it's tough to watch it. You're like, your eyes are woken and you can't go back to sleep. And I understand some people just want to check out. And I've said this before on the show. I've said this on stage, like millennials, I'm sorry. My generation and generations before me, we all got to kind of goof off on our 20s and not be involved. And some people in my generation, their 20s were getting involved and trying to make a difference, and some didn't. I kind of did, not really. I did little charity things here and there, but I was, being a fuckhead. And the millennials, man, I'm sorry. You got to get in. There's no time. I'm real sorry. It's just, it's critical. And I think because I had to kind of wake up, I'm trying to be more patient with friends of mine that haven't quite seen it yet. I'm just trying to give them information because John Updike was one of the people who was always like, Graham, don't blame, all the racists in America for Trump. There's plenty of racists, and I'm not excusing them, but they were given no options. That's why they voted for Trump. The Democrats made this happen. And it's like, I slowly woke up to that fact. Jimmy Dore helped me wake up to that fact. So, yeah. Dresden Z, thoughts on human overpopulation. Alyssa Nicole, you think I'm cute? Yes or no? Come on, Alyssa. If I see another one of those, Alyssa, I'm blocking you. This isn't like, you sound like a porn bot. I think you're cute. Oh, Lord. It's a political talk, Alyssa. So come with a political question or bail. Dresden Z, thoughts on human overpopulation. That's a great question. The world is overpopulated. The way we currently plunder at all of this country's resources, we can't sustain the population. So, it's a weird thing. I have 6 nieces and nephews, and I love them, and I'm so glad they're all alive. And I'm big brother to a kid, and he's great, and I love him and his brothers and sisters. And I just made a decision a while ago that I personally wasn't going to have kids. But before we start regulating people having children like China was doing, I think we need to get into a more the Green New Deal. We need to become more sustainable in all of our practices, in our energy creation and consumption, and products that we make. I think we need to do a lot of things that way. So we are overpopulated. I mean, there's already 7-some billion people on this planet, and it can't sustain it. And we're facing a pretty critical place here in terms of the environment, and it's only going to get worse if we don't address it severely. So that's one way to address it, and I think if I ever were to meet somebody and who really wanted to have kids, I would say, why don't we adopt? Because there's a lot of kids out there that were born into a really tough situation. So those are my personal thoughts on that. All right, what other questions? You guys got a lot of good questions here. Oh my God. Rebel Cage Rattler. Hey, everyone. That's saying hi. LOL. Let's see. Agent Dale Chomsky. Trump is a logical outcome of 40 years of stealing from the middle class and offering them nothing. It should have been obvious he was a threat once Bernie was cheated. That's such a great question, Agent Dale Chomsky. I say this to people. And I've argued with some people on Twitter who are just like, Trump's evil, stop blaming the Democrats, all hands on deck. Trump's a racist and he's awful. Yes, Trump is awful. The Republican Party is so out of control. But how did this happen? In those counties that voted for Obama twice, they voted for Obama twice and then voted for Trump. They voted for Obama because after 8 years of Bush, they were like, we need something new. And that's what Obama promised. He promised green energy. He promised getting us out of Iraq and Afghanistan, but he pulled us out like troops on the ground and then just expanded the drone program and did all this other awful crap. Yeah, I just say like, I've said this before, like Obama is highly educated, articulate, very presidential, very classy guy. He wasn't tweeting all this awful shit, but he deported 2 million people. He killed, thousands of women and children in the Middle East. He sent 26,171 rockets just in 2016, just that year. He let the Dakota Access Pipeline happen. He tortured people. He tortured and jailed Chelsea Manning. I mean, come on, man. He just didn't do it publicly. He was nice and polite and charming publicly. As Cornel West said, Obama was just the first black leader of the American empire. Tyler, by the way, guys, hit the super chat button. Get your question up there. Tyler Enfinger, Graham, will we ever see our progressive policies enacted in our country? If Bernie wins in 2020, will things really change for working people? That's a great question. I think if that were to happen, if Bernie either runs as a Democrat and gets the nomination, or better yet, runs as an independent, or somebody like Bernie, a real progressive, runs. I'm just worried that Bernie is starting to kind of acquiesce a little bit to the corporate Democrats. I think if a real progressive makes it to the White House, the way for that to happen is populism, is the whole country, red state, blue state, going, we're all screwed. If somebody starts we've talked about this before, like a third labor party, because labor is the thing that unites everybody. Everybody needs a job. Everybody needs good benefits. Everybody needs health care and a pension and ways to take care of themselves and their family. Everybody needs that. I don't care who you are or where you live or what your background is. You need that. So if we get somebody in there, my guess is, Tyler, that there will have been a groundswell of people just saying, we're done with the two-party nonsense. So then there'd be enough progressives elected. Like that interview I did with Sam Ronan. He's running as a Republican. A lot of you asked that question. Watch that interview. I did it with him. It posted, I think, Friday. I asked him, why are you running as a Republican? Because he's in a red district. If he runs as a Democrat, no one will listen to him. If he runs as a Republican, they'll listen to his progressive policies as a Republican. And I thought, man, that's brilliant. If we get more people like that surrounding a progressive president in 2020, then, Tyler, I do think it can happen. That's what gives me hope. Phil Britton, Dems blow you whichever way their money goes. Yeah, to quote Ralph Nader, the difference between the two parties is the speed for which they get to their knees for corporate benefactors. Let's see. Jasmine Bojic, how many people would join the military if there is free college and single-payer health care? Could the military complex fill their bases? Jasmine, that's a great question. Yeah, no, they couldn't. That's part of what they're doing. They learned in the 60s during the Vietnam War. Up until that point, you could draft and everybody wanted to join. Everybody wanted to join World War II. Everybody wanted to do Korea. Everybody was gung-ho. If you didn't join the military, you were a bad American. You weren't a patriot. You weren't a man. You needed to earn your manhood on the battlefield fighting for your country. So when people started waking up in the 60s and 70s and protesting, they realized, and the Vietnam War was pretty much on TV, you saw that in the first Gulf War. First of all, complete media blackout. They only showed... And that was the corporations that already started to take over the media in the 80s. So when I think it was 1990 or 91, when the Gulf War happened, complete media blackout. That's when you first started to see corporate TV come over and kind of push the military agenda. And they were like, no draft. We're not going to have a draft. Because since the Vietnam War, 18 to 25-year-olds are in the smallest percentile of voters. And they want to keep it that way. So if they enacted in a draft, let's say they did it after 9/11 or during the Iraq War or whatever, then 18 to 25-year-olds would have to wake up and stop playing video games or whatever else they're doing and go, wow, I need to pay attention because I'm the one that's going to have to go to war. So if that's why they don't want free college tuition. That's why the corporate media was saying, oh, it's pie in the sky, and Hillary Clinton called them ponies and stuff like that. Wait. Redneckonomics. What's up, Stevie? Check out our channel. It's awesome. Check out my interview I did with her. I saw a dude that looked like he was in his late 60s driving a car with a Vietnam and Hillary Clinton bumper sticker. I don't know how. I really don't know how so many people got swindled by the Clintons. how they just, I just don't know how. You know who gives money to the Clinton Foundation? Saudis, ExxonMobil, Goldman Sachs, Boeing, George Soros. It's unreal, man. Independent outsider, you should interview Jennifer Briney. I'll ask her. Please. I'm not sure I know her. Is she Congressional Dish? I forget what her show is. The name sounds familiar, but maybe I'm mixing her up with somebody else. But independent outsider, thank you for supporting the show. And please have her email me. True news. All right. True news. Hey, Grandma, please tell us about the aliens. Merry Christmas. I don't know what that means. The aliens? Sure. I'm one of them. I don't know what that means, dude. JK, most of my family have mad nostalgia for the Clinton years. When they do that, JK, go, yeah, do you have nostalgia for when Bill gutted welfare, when he put 100,000 black men behind bars, when he did NAFTA that basically took away all these good, decent jobs, when he repealed Glass-Steagall? And what's Glass-Steagall? Well, that was FDR banking legislation. He gave the banks more power. Ask him to be nostalgic about that. Jen Briney does extensive legislative research and has her own podcast. Yeah, I'd love to talk to her. KSD, Graham, alien confirmed. Haha. Phil Britton, Bill gutted and laid the groundwork to kill the net for sure. Mario, you're one of my favorite guests on Sam Tripoli's Tinfoil Hat. Oh, that's a fun show, guys. If you ever listen to Sam Tripoli, he's a comic. He's on All Things Comedy Network. He has a podcast called Tinfoil Hat. It's all about conspiracy theories and stuff like that. It's a really fun show. I love doing it. We get into great discussions. Sam is a guy that's really starting to wake up. He's been on Jimmy Dore a couple times. So yeah, thanks. Thanks for watching. Stacy E. Clinton sent me to the former Yugoslavia. His wife sent me to Iraq. Wait, I lost that. Sorry. I never saw a TV. I never saw a TV camera on any of my deployments, but I did hear about Hillary's brush with non-existent sniper fire. Oh wow, Stacy, thanks for sharing that with us. Yeah. I know. They're such warmongers. It's unbelievable that people think the Clintons are these lovey, hippie freedom people. She was against gay marriage up until 2013. In 2015, she said in an interview, and it's on the internet, there may be some parts of abortion I might want to not legalize anymore. She said this. When she was secretary, I mean, she voted for the war in Iraq as a senator. She was pushing Bush's war machine when she was a senator. When she became Secretary of State, oh my God. There was so many of her policies that Obama implemented that set the Middle East on fire. She overthrew a democratically elected government in Honduras. Unbelievable. Paul Chapman, hey Graham, Merry Christmas, Batman. You got it, Paul. Liquid Zero, Clinton Foundation is still involved in Serbia. Oh God, of course. And wherever else. Red Economics, I know it's petty, but never forget Hillary's fake-ass Southern accent she tried to do back in Alabama. Phil Britton, Hillary pushed global oil fracking. Fuck Hillary. Oh, yeah, she's so for fracking. I mean, it's unbelievable. The people who call themselves liberals are like, I would do this. I would say, so do you support fracking? Do you support war? Do you support these things? Oh, no, of course not. Well, the Clintons do. And this isn't a conspiracy. Like, the Republicans come up with crazy conspiracies about the Clintons because they can't call them on their corporate pro-war, pro-banking crap because that's what the Republicans do. I just stick to facts. I go, here are the facts, and someone says some crazy Hillary conspiracy. I heard. I go, I don't need that. I just need. She was on the board of directors at Walmart. That alone tells you who she is. She was against $15 an hour for Walmart employees. That's all you need to know. Marcia Smith, HRC said she would support a constitutional amendment to restrict a woman's right to choose. That is not a feminist. Thank you, Marcia Smith. I'm so bewildered. She wants to restrict a woman's right to choose. And all those women that accused her husband, and she went after those women as an attorney? I don't know. I'm bewildered why people call her a feminist. She's this woman. It's just, she's just a symbol. Ugh. M99, hello. Kevin Eckhart. Those who call themselves liberal often forget to add the neo in front of it. Yes, Jenny Lynn. Forsaken Companion, hello. Kyle Murphy, do you think that this recent awakening could actually make the Republican Party a safe space for progressives in lieu of the Democrats, i.e. Sam Ronan? Kyle, that's a great point. I think what Sam is doing shows us, as George Ho said earlier in this discussion, there are many ways to skin a cat. That's the thing. We got to get the progressive agenda in there one way or another. We just have to. And if they just aren't going to listen to you in a red district because you have a D in front of your name, then run with an R. You know, and I asked in the interview with Sam Ronan, I said, well, if you don't get it, will you run in the general? If you lose the primary, will you run in the general as an independent? And he said, they don't allow you to do that. And maybe most states are this way, I'm not sure, but he said, you have to either sign up as a party, one of the parties, or an independent. You can't switch. So, I mean, if you live in Sam Ronan's district, man, or know anybody that does, get him to vote for this primary because he's running against an old-time incumbent Republican who's in a red district that doesn't have. That's just what we need. There's no challenging right now. If you're an incumbent and your district has always been red or blue, you don't need to do much. And the other party won't run anybody against you. They'll just kind of let you have it. So I love what he's doing. I love what he's doing because conservative Republicans should be offended by what Trump's doing. Everyone is just selling out at every tune. It's unbelievable. All Republicans talk about, we don't want to increase the deficit. We don't want to, that's what Democrats do. And then they just voted to add $1.5 trillion to the deficit with Trump's bullshit tax thing. Let's get some people with an ethical compass in there who are not going to acquiesce, because if you start doing that, then you're just part of the problem. Well, we'll make this concession because I want to win. Go, I'm only going to do it the right way. And if I lose the right way, I'd rather lose the right way than win the wrong way. That's the attitude you should take. If I ran, that's what I would do. Don't forget, Moochie the Cat, thank you for supporting the show. If you hit the $ like Moochie the Cat just did, you get your question put up here. So let's listen to Moochie the Cat. Hi, Graham. Do you know who sent the horse manure Christmas package to Steve Mnuchin's house? Ha-ha! Moochie the Cat, thank you so much for supporting the show. I do not know who sent that. I want to meet that person, and I want to thank them. Steve Mnuchin, of course, for those of you who do not know, most of you probably do, he used to run One West Bank. One West Bank was one of the companies that did a lot of illegal business like robo-signing. They were the company that bought my mortgage from IndyMac Bank and forced me out of my house. And Kamala Harris, who was Attorney General of the state of California, did not prosecute Steve Mnuchin. Neither did Obama. And of course, he was put in Trump's cabinet. And Steve Mnuchin's wife is just an awful, Mary Rich person. And so I hope that manure is forever in their lives. God bless whoever sent those people. It's a Christmas miracle. It's a war on Christmas tree miracle that Steve Mnuchin got a bucket of manure. If I was president, he would be behind bars. Behind bars. Moochie the Cat, thank you so much. Stevie E, the poop was for Mnuchin and his wife shit-eating grins. Haha. Let's see where you guys at. The casual polemic grandma for president. Thank you. Scrabble Eddie. We're screwed without the Green Party. I hope people catch on. No, it's true. I mean, wouldn't you love to see a presidential debate on the major networks where there's like 4 candidates like they have in Canada and Western Europe? Wouldn't it be amazing if we had like a Republican, a Democrat, a Green, a Libertarian, and just a full-on independent or something like that, all actually debating the issues, and then we had a really thriving democracy? A democracy is about engagement. It's about people exchanging different ideas. How awesome would it be if on one of these super chats we're all like, boy, if either of these candidates win, I'd be happy. They're both great. I just lean a little more with this candidate than that candidate. That's never happened in any of our lifetimes. It's never happened. That much like, oh, wow, really, a lot of really solid choices. It's always like, I'll vote for this asshole. I'm not doing that ever again. Oh, energy drink. This is my Chicago Cubs 2016 championship glass. Oh, yeah, 108 years, baby. A box of shit for a pile of shit. Socks. Paul Chapman. Wow, check out this headline. Pennsylvania woman stunned by $284 billion electric bill. Haha. Mark Wanjala, M99, that's what is happening of late. Have you heard how Democrats have been praising black women? I feel this is the next card in Camilla Phil's, and it's sad to see identity politics. Yeah, that's a great point, Mark. And I did a video because I found an article that black women are like becoming independents. They went from 85 to 74% of black women identify themselves as Democrats. So, KCH Mueller, Willkommen. Hey Graham, I'm glad. Hold on, let me read your question. Where is it? Hey Graham, I'm glad there are Americans like you, TYT and Jimmy. Is there a chance to discuss with you life in some sort of a hangout? I hate typing. I've never done the Google Hangout thing. Maybe I should add that. If I added that as a tier, would you guys do that? I mean, so KCH Mueller, the $25 level, you can do a one-on-one Skype interview with me. So you can do that. But I've never done a Google Hangout. What is a Google? It's like a video chat, right? Like we all talk. I don't know. I'll look into that. If I can record it and put it online, I would probably do that. Thanks for supporting the show. KCH Mueller, where are you at? You're paying with euros. Your last name is German. I'm guessing you live in Germany. I lived in Munich for a year when I was a child. My dad was a professor of German theater history. Thank you for supporting the show. Where are we at? Do Zoom instead. Yeah, Zoom. Yeah, get Zoom, Graham. Zoom, Zoom. Zoom. Everyone's typing Zoom. Google Hangouts is susceptible to trolling. All right, I'll look into Zoom. What would that be worth if we did a Google Hangout? Just like 5 people or so everyone can talk? Jenny Lynn, Mueller should come hang with you. Yes, they have their little secret society every night. You're from Germany. Yeah. All right. I'll look into Zoom. Karen Sheets. I wanted to say Merry Christmas to you and everyone I have met through your chat. You keep me sane, and screw Trump and the Republican. Karen, thank you so much, man. It's Christmas Eve here in the States. If you're in Europe, it's probably Christmas Day for you. Yeah, Merry Christmas or whatever you celebrate. It's really cool. Karen, thank you for supporting the show, first of all. You're a regular and you support the show in many ways, which I so much appreciate. I just started hiring a producer, which is giving me more time, which is awesome because I was worried with this TV show that I wouldn't have time to do as many videos, and I don't want that to happen. I want to keep putting out 12 videos a week and keep doing this. And this does keep me sane too. I can get bummed out. I read a lot of news, obviously, and I watch a lot of videos, and sometimes I'm just like, ugh. But I come here and you guys all give me hope because you participate and you want to see things better and you want to get involved, and then you're starting your own chats and your own things, and you're all doing your own little things in all different ways in your little towns. Even just sending me articles, you know, like the $5 patrons that send me articles. I'm learning about stuff that I didn't know, and I'm putting the news out there and bringing more awareness. That's my favorite thing to do, is to learn something myself and then share that awareness with a broader audience. And as we build the show and build this community, we're building awareness, we're waking more people up, which means more people are going to get involved, and then more real change can happen. So you keep me sane, Karen Sheets. Thank you for supporting the show. Joe! Hey, Graham, love your stuff. Love you too, brother. Lucas Pompey, Zoom also has better vid quality than Skype or Google Hangouts. Okay, Jenny Lynn gave me the thumbs up. Black Shadow X7. America's leadership needs to stop being Israel's bitch. Oh, God, that's just such a thing. It's like that. Well, here's a great thing. I saw an interview with Abby Martin did with Noam Chomsky. And see, now we've been ramping up Nikki Haley, it just showed those bombs that Iran sent through Yemen to bomb the good peace-loving people of Saudi Arabia. And one of the things that Noam Chomsky talked about is Iran has said, we'll all agree, we'll be one of the countries that would agree to no nuclear weapons nowhere in the Middle East. Nobody gets them. And America always just kind of blows that off because if we do that, well, then we have to inspect Israel's nuclear program. And that just doesn't work. We can't do that. It's just our relationship with Israel, which Netanyahu is a right-wing government, what is happening in Palestine. When Israelis are starting to say, oh man, what we're doing to the Palestinians is apartheid. It is apartheid. It's like, it tells you something. It tells you something. And watch some of Abby Martin's videos going into Jerusalem and going into Palestine, what she actually shows you what happens, what's going on. She really is shining an amazing light on that. Watch Empire Files. It's helped me sort of wake up to that scenario and what's going on there. And when she interviews some of these Israelis that were in the Israeli military who are just like, it's wrong. It really, you go, okay, I start to see it. And you see how the propaganda machine in Israel brainwashes Israelis just like we're all brainwashed here. We're all brainwashed to think America's the best. We're the good guys. We only do war when we have to. Some bad guys are getting crazy. We got to go do something. No. We're pushing our corporate agenda for the oil and for the war machine, and Israel is a part of that. Israel and the United States do not recognize the Armenian genocide. Israel doesn't recognize the Armenian genocide. In World War I, the Turks they committed genocide against the Armenians, and they won't acknowledge it. And we won't acknowledge it because we need Turkey's bases, because we need them in the Middle East to push our corporate war oil machine. And Israel won't acknowledge it either because they need oil. It's ridiculous. All right, where are we at here? Karen Sheets, it is the leadership of our countries who've gone off the reservation. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Israel has 0 oil fields, yeah. Independent outsider, we don't acknowledge Native American genocide. Oh, that's a good point, Dave. That is the largest genocide ever in the history of the human race. 100 million Native Americans were killed in North America. 100 million. Amy Matura, thank you for supporting the show, Amy. You're fantastic. I like your tree, Graham. Hope you didn't get it or the decorations from Jeff Bezos Corp. No, I got this tree. I got my Warren Christmas tree. I've literally had this tree for, I don't know, 20 years. Back when I had a little studio apartment, when I was first moved it to LA, that was my Christmas tree. And so I have a bigger fake tree that I've also had that one for probably 15 years that I assemble, but I didn't want to put it together this year. It's a lot of work. And, with my ex-girlfriend becoming a violent alcoholic, there's a lot of really painful memories associated with it. So I just like this one. I think I got it at a Target or something like that for maybe 15, 20 bucks. So I did not get it through Jeff Bezos. If you have to support Jeff Bezos, please use my Amazon affiliate link. So that's where I got it, Amy. Thank you for supporting the show. And the decorations are like, there's a Batman mask. There's Star Wars stuff. There's some cookies. Yeah, that's what the tree is. So, Merry War on Christmas, Amy. Thank you for supporting the show. Stacy E. Trump is the result of America not teaching Native American genocide and slavery like the Germans taught their citizens about Nazis after World War II. Man, Stacy, great point. And that's what we see. That's why Germany is at the forefront of like helping the Syrian refugees, right? And because after World War II, they were like, never again. We're going to make people have to know. So their whole citizenry has been educated over decades to not think that way. Germany has also acknowledged the Armenian genocide. So this is what happens in America, 5-6 decades of just corporate bullshit school that teaches us how to be consumers and employees and not to think freely. No, Christopher Ross. Oh my God. Dude, that's the biggest thing anyone's ever given me. That's the biggest donation. Thank you, man. Christmas bonus for Graham and happy holidays to everyone else. Hope you all have a happy new year as well. Oh my God, you're starting a war on New Year's? Man, this is the war on New Year's? Christopher Ross, thank you so much, dude. I think that's Fallout Boy is your, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not real big on the video games, but Christopher Ross, that is very generous of you. It's very cool. I'm at a loss. Thanks, man. And thank you for supporting the show. It's really, really cool of you. Yeah, I don't know what to say. I hope you guys, this is such an amazing community. This is the thing I talk about, that why it comes up almost every week of I'm like humbled and inspired by all of you to keep doing this. It's so, your response and your questions and your points of view, and even if we don't agree, they're really interesting and I mean, not counting the wingbird trolls that show up every once in a while, but like even when people have shown up and had a point of view that I didn't necessarily agree with, it's never like crazy or ugly or awful or mean. It's always just like a well thought out point of view, and you're part of. You guys are building this community. It's so cool. When I started this, I mean, I know a thing or two about building a community. We did it with the podcast festival and stuff, which is cool, and I love that. But this is like even more succinct in its purpose, and so yeah, this is. You guys inspire me, man. Thank you for Christopher Ross. That's the most anyone's ever thrown down, dude. Thanks. Happy Christmas and a Merry New Year to you. Festivus tree. I've been getting so many Festivus things. Freya Milkinson. I love your beautiful little tree. Thank you, Freya. Aren't you sweet? Redneckonomics. History books are now framing the Trail of Tears as a kind of gesture made willingly by them so the pilgrims could have somewhere to live. Oh, God. Whoa. Yeah, I know. Like, there's all these. I'm learning so much more about Native culture just by watching all these Native American comedians that I'm booking on the TV show. I always thought they got free college tuition. That's not true. They don't. There's like some help and stuff, but they all got student loans. They don't just get free college. That's not true. And if you watch the movie Wind River, oh my God, you see like all of these Native American women get murdered and go missing, and it's just all unsolved because they'll have like 5 cops to cover an area the size of LA County. LA County has close to 10 million people. You know, it's insane. It's insane. Oh man. Where else? Zox Obox, how many million has the United States killed in its history? It's just, oh God, who knows? Capricorn Paris, bonjour, je suis Francois. Francais, thank you. I don't know. Is that a French thing? I don't know. Let's see where we're at here. Christopher Ross, you're awesome. Jason Carswell, FBI doesn't keep numbers on missing women or children. Phil Britton, Andrew Jackson was a racist fascist. The Trail of Tears was ethnic cleansing by default and neglect by the U.S. government. Phil, thanks for posting that, man. Yeah. Yeah. And FNX, the channel I'm working for, put out this amazing video showing what Thanksgiving really was. It was really, it's great. Capricorn Perry, you speak French? I can fake a couple of words in French. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? That's it. That's all I can fake it. Let's see what else we have here. Samarat B, very good show, Grim. We are watching from Spain. Oh, hey, Merry Christmas. What do you make of Howard Zinn's book, A People's History of the United States? Did you find it interesting as a way to predict post-Trump America? Yeah, it's pretty awesome. That's a fantastic book. I recommend everybody reading it. Make of Howard Zinn's A History of the United States. I would also watch the Oliver Stone Untold History of the United States documentary series that's on Netflix, and the other documentary with Noam Chomsky. They're all predicting a lot of this stuff. All of this stuff has been predicted. You know, and if you read Death of the Liberal Class, which came out in like 2010, it is very much, they predict Trump in it. When the liberal are gone and the liberal establishment is gone and they acquiesce to power, people support a demagogue like Trump. They've all been predicting it. Samarat B, thank you so much, man. It's so awesome having you guys watch from all around the world. How cool is this? I'm here fighting the war on Christmas in California, and you guys are watching in Germany, in France, in Spain, West Virginia, New York, wherever else. You guys are awesome. Another shout out to Christopher Ross. Taj Marie, Merry Christmas. Producing hydrogen through electrolysis powered by concentrated solar power is becoming possible. Thus, H2 FCEV fuel cell cars can possibly compete with electric cars and ICE cars. Thoughts? Hippie bullshit. No, that's Taj Marie. That's a great thing. What I've studied about the hydrogen cars are amazing. I think hydrogen is actually more the future than electric, although I just got an electric car. The biggest hurdle with fuel cell vehicles or hydrogen cars is just infrastructure. So once that, we just need to put that in place, because then we have a decent infrastructure for charging with electric cars. Obviously you have a charger at home, you're kind of all right with that as they're increasing the range. Excuse me. Currently Toyota has the Toyota Mirai, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, probably not. And there's a couple, I think Mercedes-Benz has one, and right now, it's like a lease and the fuel is included in your lease, and you just go to the dealership and certain select dealerships that have hydrogen fueling, and that's where you fuel up. I think hydrogen is the future because it's clean burning, and how you say it's produced, powered by concentrated solar power, is becoming possible. The emissions are amazing because, look, electric cars, I think, are a great step in the right direction, obviously, but what do we do with this massive battery? Where do we get the minerals from these? What are we going to do 30 years from now with all these car batteries? These are legitimate questions where hydrogen, to me, seems a little more long-term sustainable. We just got to get the hydrogen fueling infrastructure in place. That's the current hurdle. And I don't know how, so I think it's just, they're starting to sell more and more of them. So what they're doing, people are becoming early adopters to them. That's the key. I remember seeing a speech with Elon Musk, and he was talking about when he announced last year the Model 3 that just came out, the like $35,000 Tesla. He thanked all the people that bought his first generation, that two-seat sports car, the Roadster, I think they called it, because the people that buy the early ones, then give them the money and show them, oh, this is feasible. So if you are in a position to buy a hydrogen car now and it works with your schedule and everything else, do it, because I think, Taj Marie, what you're talking about is very doable, and I think this is great. And that would be great. If that was our choices as consumers, well, do I buy a hydrogen car? Do I buy an electric car? I mean, ultimately, I'd love to see, I mean, look, Adolf Diesel created the diesel engine to run on vegetable oil. Vegetable oil running cars have been around forever. He did that to make farmers more sustainable, self-supporting. That's what it was about. That's what the diesel engine is. That's why you can buy a diesel engine. There's certain diesel engine, you have them converted to vegetable oil and you just fill them up. So then vegetable oil is a whole nother issue. How do you wouldn't it be great if I had some money, what I would do too, all these restaurants that have cooking oil that they have to dispose of, they have to pay to get it disposed. And so if you drive a vegetable oil car, you need to filter that oil and put it in your car. And that's a big, messy process. Or I know people that just have big, like 3-gallon jugs of vegetable oil sent to their house, and then they're just glug, 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 filling up their car like that. So what if we put an infrastructure of all of these restaurants that use vegetable oil to cook, and just put a little, actually a pump that filters the used cooking oil so that it's clean for car use, and just have a little tip box? It'd be fantastic. That would be a great thing. So Taj Marie, what we need is just more infrastructure for these other alternative fuel source cars like hydrogen that you pointed out. But that's a great question, and thanks for bringing that information up to everybody. Way to support the show. All right, where are we at here? Distilling, yes, Willie Nelson does that with his tour bus. It's doable. I looked into it. You just have to spend money to convert a diesel engine, and part of the problem is you have to get like an older diesel engine to get it converted. Lucas Pompey, burnt vegetable oils, #1 cause of lung cancer worldwide. Woo, Lucas, I did not know that. I'd like to hear some more research on that. Capricorn Paris, where am I? I'm in Southern California. JMT Lunem Une Ani. I don't know what that is, you guys. Marcia Smith, ich spreche ein wenig Deutsch, mehr als Französisch. Oh, you speak a little German and French, Marcia Smith. Independent outsider, look at what happened to Tucker in the 40s. Cars have been designed to break down, so you have to buy another. Oh, yeah. And they have killed any sort of alternative. You know, watch the documentary Who Killed the Electric Car. Came out about 10, 12 years ago. Now we're getting past that, thankfully, but casual polemic. I know you guys are talking about something else. You guys are speaking French to each other. Kevin Eckhart, hydrogen needs large tanks to store that is changed with fuel cell tech. Yeah. So I was at the auto show, getting back again to what Taj Marie brought up. They show the fuel cell tank, and they're reasonable size. That the Toyota Mirai is just like it's about the size of a Prius. Body design, hatchback, 4-door, and it gets 45, 50 miles per gallon ish. So yeah, they've made it. It just needs more money, and it needs more infrastructure. It's this, you know. Kevin Eckhart, Willie's bus burns vegetable oil, cover pot smell. Jason Carswell, what kind of animated intro do you want? Whoa, oh. So Jason emailed me. He's an animator and does graphic design, and said, you know, I'd love to help out with the show. Let me take a drink. Go Cubs. And so I suggested, like, I don't know, some kind of cool animated intro, just like a 15-second. So what I would, some sort of cool, since Political Vigilante, the original title of this show was The Church of Batman, and I changed it because I didn't want legal hassles with Warner Brothers. I have all this Batman stuff everywhere. Pasta, who does the show now, who's a friend of Ron Placone's, wrote me this really cool letter and gave me a Silver Surfer shirt. So some type of copyright infringement vigilante sort of animated superhero-y type thing, you know? The slogan is "Make Gotham Great Again," so maybe something like that, some sort of animated version of me. I don't know. So, being the political vigilante, maybe like a PV on the chest. I don't know. I've always wanted to play a superhero in a movie. So, it's just sort of, I don't know, Jason, something like that. I know it's not like huge. I'm not giving you great notes, but. So where are we at here? Independent Outsider Bullshit Man has a short Batman musical riff in his intro. Yeah, I don't know, some kind of music-y thing. Paul Chapman, Graham, get with Kevin Smith. I bet he can come up with something really cool for you. HK, fantasizing now, not sure what. Kevin Eckhart, do I cosplay Batman during sex? Yeah. I dress up as Batman. Like, yeah, I'm Batman. Want to come inside my Batcave? I haven't been cosplaying much recently. Let's see. Freya Milkinson. Someone once told me, when unsure about speaking Spanish, just speak it faster and no one would either not know or not care. Oh, that's funny. I speak a little Portuguese. I speak Portuguese better than I speak Spanish. So, eu falo português pouco. Eu quero falar com você sobre político, Trump, Estados Unidos, tudo girl, somente quero dinero, I don't know. There's my Portuguese. Shout out to Christopher Ross. JMT, Luminim. Okay, good night from Lebanon. You were in Lebanon? Oh, thanks, man. Thanks for watching from Lebanon. It's so awesome. I really appreciate you guys telling me where you're watching from. It's kind of cool. I wish we could like put a map up. I wish YouTube, we could just see where everyone is all over the world where they're watching. It's so cool. Thanks. I don't speak any Lebanese. Otherwise, I would say that. Whatever good night is. But happy holidays. Let's see. Yes, I have been to Brazil. Eu vai por Brasil. Rio de Janeiro, Manaus, todo o tempo em Amazonas, Itacocharia, e quero vai de novo para Bahia e praia. Eu surfista, eu quero surfar com muito praia em Brasil. Muito. Eu quero. Black Shadow X7, I'm watching from Brooklyn. Brooklyn in the house. Oh, a Kiwi in Scotland. Look at this. Ohio, Manhattan, Catalytic Centaur, Germany, Berlin. I visited when I lived in Munich when I was a kid. We went to Berlin back when the wall was still up and I was in West Berlin. Australia here, Ryan Bannock. Thanks for, you guys are great. Come to Columbus, Ohio for a gig. It would be great to see you and Jimmy Dore. Karen Sheets. Well, that's a great, you guys ask me this a lot and it's a fine question. And one of the things, so I'm shooting the TV show through March into April. I only have like 2 weekends off in there. So it might be, I won't be traveling much until probably April, but one of the goals of building this show up is to do more shows on the road. So Ron Placone and I, since many of you suggested it to Ron when he did his super chat, he and I are going to put together a little tour of, we're going to call it the Progressive Comedy Tour, where we're going to do stand-up and hopefully just progressives like you show up. So we're going to put that together, and we might do one in the Midwest. We got to find venues, and it's got to make sense financially. There's a website, I forget the name of it, that bands use, where it's sort of like a crowdfunding for ticket sales, where you set, like, we need to sell this number of tickets, whatever it is, 150. If we don't sell that many tickets, then we're not coming to do the show. So you kind of get the ticket sales in advance, because then there's no risk involved in terms of, wow, we spent all this money on plane tickets and travel and hotels, and then we only sold 23 tickets and we're losing money. So we're going to look into that. But I think late spring, early summer, there's going to be a kind of tour that Ron and I are going to do. And if Jimmy goes on the road, I've told him, I said, if he goes anywhere, I'd love to come check it out. So Karen Sheets, we'll try to make that happen. Freya Milk is in, oh my God, please come to Podunk, Florida. Yeah, I'd come to Florida. Where in Podunk, Florida do you live? Horse Gal 1971, come to Utah. Lee Camp is coming in February and I have tickets. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I know Lee travels a lot. Marcia Smith, Twin Cities. Oh, I'd love to come to the Twin Cities. Patty 007, Atlanta, Georgia. I love hot Atlanta. Dresden Z, thoughts on Dennis Rodman's friendship with Kim Jong-un. Happy holidays from Denver, brother. Ooh, Mile High. I love the Mile High city. So, you know, it's the fact that the media plays this up. Look, is Dennis Rodman a diplomat? You know, what his intention? Dennis Rodman's intention, I'm a Bulls fan. It seems to me Dennis Rodman just likes being in the public eye. Is he really trying to accomplish something? Is he trying to broker peace between our two countries? Boy, that'd be great. But we could broker peace with North Korea very easily. The war machine will not allow it. North Korea wants peace. They're terrified of us. They know we could wipe them off the face of the earth. We're doing military maneuvers in their backyard in the Sea of Japan all the time. So the Dennis Rodman thing is just more corporate media hype, you know, like it's just preposterous. You know, if he wants to be friends with them, go for it. They're both nuts. I don't care. Amy Matura, I'm not sure Graham would survive a day in Chicago winter. Well, Amy, I grew up in Chicago. I was born in Stoughton, Wisconsin. I lived in Madison, Wisconsin until I was about 11 years old. Then I moved to Chicago. I was living in Evanston, and I was living on the north side, a bunch of different places. I was living in Belmont and Broadway before I moved to LA. Now, it's been 20 years, but I go back every winter for a couple of days. I can handle it for like 4 or 5 days. I have become a Southern California cream puff. But I've been in extreme weather, Amy. I can do it. 99 lift balloons. Michael Stiegel, yes, I am a yellow belt. Lucas Pompey, North Korea is a distraction from the coming war with Iran. Amy Matura, frozen smoothies. Do I like cheese? Yeah, how do you not like cheese? Yeah, the Chicago winters are brutal. They are tough. All right, guys. Oh my God, it's been 72 minutes. I'm running out of time here. Patty at 007, there's that Joker laugh again. You guys are fantastic. Where are we at here? I do like cheese. Cheese curds are the most amazing thing ever. The cheese curds are so amazing. They're so bad for you, but they taste fantastic. George Ho, you are North Korean spy, Graham, for wanting peace. Yes, I'm a North Korean spy, and me and Jill Stein hang out with Putin. You got me, buddy. You guys crack me up. C.H. Mueller. Just one thing about refugees from Syria. The real heroes are the Lebanese people. They took about 1 million refugees. The Lebanese population is 6 million, so they are the real heroes. Wow. Man, KCH Mueller, thank you for supporting the show, and thank you for bringing that up, especially since we had somebody from Lebanon. God, I hope they're still watching the show. See, that's the thing. I didn't know that. We didn't really get that information here. You know, we just got people in this country going, we're not taking these refugees and Trump's going to lock the borders down. It's like, well, first of all, why don't we stop creating all the refugees by blowing up countries? And, you know, that's so great that the Lebanese people did that the Lebanese government, well, many of the people did that. 1 million refugees. That's the other thing. Well, these refugees, why don't they? If we stop blowing up their country, they don't want to leave their home. Most people don't want to leave where they grow up. They want to stay there. Why don't we stop blowing it up? So KCH Mueller, thank you so much, man, for pointing that out and giving props to the Lebanese people for doing that. And it's just, I get so, what the American empire, what the war machine is doing just is so, it's hard to not get like full on despondent from it. You know, look at the havoc that we're wreaking. Look at the just lives we've just completely, I think these people wanted to leave their homes and then get on a raft or a boat or something and risk their lives and then stay in a refugee camp and be treated like second class. Do you think they wanted to do that? So thank you for bringing that to our attention, KCH Mueller. And, you know, thank you for watching the show all the way from Deutschland. And I'd like to come back to, I haven't been to Munich literally since I was a kid in the 70s. I'd love to come back to Munich. Can't we all just get along? Can't we just live in a world of peace? And, you know, that's the thing that, it's like John Lennon was right. We could just, this planet could be an amazing place. We could have green technology. We could have no war. We could have everybody working together and resolving disputes in just a very reasonable manner. Everyone could be looking out for each other. It could so happen. It could so happen. Instead, there's a handful of really greedy people that divide everybody and make everybody fight. And it's all this craziness. It's all this craziness. And it drives me absolutely nuts. And it really bums me out. But KCH Mueller, thank you for bringing this, that the Lebanese people took in 1 million refugees in a country that only has 6 million people. That's amazing. There's more people in LA County than there are in Lebanon. And look how many refugees they took in. So that's why we need more progressives, so we can stop this endless wars, and stop creating terrorists and refugees. HK, thanks for supporting the show. All the best. Thanks. You guys are so great. God, man, you guys really went nuts today. It was so awesome. So I'll be doing the show. I'm gonna look at my calendar. I'll be doing the show. We'll do it next Sunday, the 31st, and we'll do January 7th, and then starting the week of January 13th. That's when I start shooting the TV show, and we're going to do this show. I shoot the TV show on Sunday. So the TV show is the 14th, 21st, and 28th of January. We take February 4th off. So that means we'll be doing the Super Chat Saturday the 13th, the 20th, and the 27th. So starting second week of January, we're going to move to the Super Chat Saturday. And I'll release a regular video and a Patreon video on Sunday. We'll just flip-flop what we've been doing, but I just want to make you guys all aware of that fact. But I'll be here next Sunday. You guys are so great. I love doing this show, and I you know, you guys just keep inspiring me, man. Stephen Colbert 5, what do you think of the Justice Sims axing Cenk Uygur? Yeah, that just happened. We were talking about that at the top of the show. I don't know what the fallout, I really don't have much of an answer. I don't know what that's going to mean. I don't know. As George Ho said at the top of the show, we got a million ways. If the Justice Democrats are successful, great. You know, and if not working with Cenk works, I don't know. I just want to see progressives in there. I want to see change. I want to change the political system. I want to change the political process. I want to get the corporations out of there. I want to get rid of all of this endless war. I want cut our military budget in half. I want a Green New Deal. I want $15 an hour. I want, health care for all. That's what I want. So Let's see. What's this? Ryan Bannock, 11 a.m. Christmas Day here. Cool. Jason Carswell, favorite colors? You in an extremist stylish superhero outfit, a dad bod, loafy hockey, a business suit, and an electric car. No, I'm in good shape. So you're gonna draw me as a guy in good shape. I got a surfer. Maybe there's a surfboard in there, and I'm ripped, and I got a cape. I'm ripped. All right. I don't have a dad bod. I got a little bit of vanity here. You need to draw me looking hot. Newly single, Jason. Help a brother out. Lucas Pompey just became a $25 patron for January on Patreon. Oh, thanks, dude. Those of you new to Patreon, so if you just joined now, like what Lucas Pompey just did, your card always will get charged the first of the month. So after the first is when you will get whatever level you joined at. So it doesn't happen automatically today. Your card will get charged January 1st in this case. And then I'll email everybody around the second or third of the month, and we'll set up a time to do the Skype interview. Thanks, man. Thank you. Lucas Pompey, no minimum wage, universal basic income instead. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be cool. Jeremy Chase, Graham, I'm going to keep asking you to talk Jimmy into having Jamari Thomas on the show. Jason Coswell, heroic net surfer and green surfer, what colors? Maybe like a green surfboard, because my surfboard is made out of recycled material, recycled foam, and it's got a plant-based resin. My longboard, the 8-foot board is not, but my longboard, and it has a bamboo inlay on it, and it's a hemp surf bag. So maybe a green board and then the colors of Batman, but can't use a Batman logo on with a political vigilante here, sort of the way the Bat logo is. I don't know. Does that sound cool? Jim Garrison, you going to go back on tinfoil hat? Yeah, for sure. HK, what was the biggest letdown for you this year in politics? God, there were so many. I think it was watching neoliberals and Brian Williams and everybody. Watching people on the left support the bombing in Syria was my biggest letdown. That for me was like, wow. And hearing friends of mine who were smart, educated people who were called themselves liberal, like, well, we had to bomb them. Just watching that corporate machine fuel the propaganda, that was my biggest letdown. That was my biggest letdown. But all right, guys, I got to get going here. Sandra Beeline, Mooch and Special Delivery. No, you guys are talking about Bitcoin. Jennifer Lynn, one of the best critiques of UBI I can recommend is Bad Mouse Productions video. Well, I'm interested in that. I don't know. I've seen some good things I like about universal basic income. I'm not sure it's a big solution. I don't know. It's hard to say because it's such a new concept what the long-term ramifications would be. When I hear corporate capitalist people badmouth it, then it makes me want to support it because I know they wouldn't profit from it, so that's why they don't want it. But I'm willing to hear other points of view on it. Well, you guys are fantastic. I cannot thank you enough how much you guys have supported the show this time. It's really amazing. And let me go to the live streaming here. You guys have been great. We're Emirates. Let me thank everybody. Live control room. Where's it? Why do I have such a hard time finding this? Yeah, there it is. So I want to thank everybody that supported the show. You guys have been fantastic. The Casual Polemic, Independent Outsider, Moochie the Cat, H. excuse me, KCH Mueller, Karen Sheets, Amy Matura, Christopher Ross, biggest one we've ever had. Thanks, Christopher. Really appreciate it. Taj Marie and KCH Mueller again. You guys have been so awesome. It's really so cool what you guys do. And you guys, happy holidays to everybody, to wherever you are in the world. Happy holidays from my War on Christmas tree to your War on Christmas tree. Whatever you subscribe to or believe in, right on. You guys are great, and I love doing this show. I love talking to you guys every week. I love hearing what you have to say, and look what we've built up in a short amount of time. So I'll see you next Sunday, New Year's Eve, which will be New Year's Day for many of you who watch overseas. Thank you to everybody in all the different countries, man. Scotland, Spain, Germany, Lebanon, awesome. So you guys are great. Happy holidays. Thank you for debating universal basic income. It's a good debate. We'll talk about it some more. So thank you so much. And Merry War on. Boom. You guys are great. Thank you. We'll see you next Sunday. I'll be posting videos. Enjoy everything. Enjoy my War on Christmas tree. And thank you all for supporting the show. I will read these names one more time. The Casual Polemic, Independent Outsider, Mochi the Cat, KCH Mueller, Karen Sheets, Amy Maturo, Christopher Ross, Taj Marie, KCH Mueller again. You guys are great. Let's remember to make Gotham great again. Jason, I look forward to seeing your animation. Rock and roll, everybody. There's my fat thumb. Shutting it down. Fat thumb. Ooh, we did 90 minutes. How about it?